world, whether it would be worth or you would consider including in your research a study of online behavior, cybersecurity habits. Do people know in their digital finances how to protect themselves from online fraud, how to protect their credentials, how to create secure passwords and store them safely? Would that be a part of the new financial behavior?
The answer is yes. Actually, I'm so glad you have mentioned this. And, this is, again, when we talk about fintech, we are only scratching the surface. And I actually think that the cybersecurity is a huge deal. It's such a huge deal, by the way, that we are changing the financial literacy question in the PISA data. So the 2021 PISA, if you are not familiar with PISA, is the Program for International Student Assessment. It measures financial literacy among 15 years old. So we are already at the third wave. And so, the 2018 is already in the field, but for the 2021, we are changing those questions to incorporate fintech and incorporate how young people are aware, are they knowledgeable about all of the security that needs to be put in place. And, we don't have those questions here for the millennials, but I think, we should, because that's very, very important, and it's very consequential. And there is not, in a sense, a month that goes by without hearing about, problems with, cyber attacks or problems with kind of that type of behavior. So, it is a very, very important field that we hope we can expand, and we have already done so in the PISA data, just to show how important your point really is.
The screen is flashing red here, but one more question by Sylvia.
Annamaria, thank you for this enlightening data, and thank you very much, Annamaria, for this enlightening data. And I just want to know your opinion. If fintech is putting all these financial operations at the hand, so easy at the hand of so many people, there's a big temptation to put along with the operations concepts for financial education. But we know that when financial education is linked to a brand, to the brand of the provider of this financial service, then it loses some credibility. Mm-hmm. So where, apart from school, should we place this kind of information so it could be really useful for the user?
Yeah, no, it's definitely complex, right? Because, sometimes the financial education doesn't come together with the, with the fintech, right? There isn't a question, which type of user are you? And then I direct you in different places and so on. I really do think that we do need, like you say, a very a credible, a rigorous source of information. So I'm going to use this to actually feature the work that we are doing in Italy. And actually following the example of 70 countries now, and all under the guidance of the OECD guidelines, more than 70 countries have done a national strategy for financial literacy. Part of that national strategy is often a website where people can go and obtain information. And normally this is, a rigorous, independent website. So we have built one for Italy. It's called Quello che conta, which means in English, what matters. And almost every country has such website. Everybody has followed the example, for example, of New Zealand, which built one of the most successful websites. It's called Sorted. I know Canada as well, via their financial authorities, is building, in a sense, a website where people can go and obtain kind of information. This study sort of suggests that we also need to target a certain group of the population, and those websites that we have built should also be, very enriched so that they can provide much more targeted information. So if you are millennials, of course, you are going to be much more likely to use that information, but then we needed to make it very attractive, very interactive. And so that would be, I think, another source of information. And again, we have to also make sure that people go there, right? And so we need to provide that information as well. Having said that, let me repeat, though, yet again, that I really do think that the financial education should also be in the school, because it's much easier for people to use technology well, to also access information when they have that knowledge. And last but not least, I'm hoping as GFLEC that this information is provided in the museums, of course. Museums are a fantastic place where you can get the information. I know that FLIP, which provides information about the young people, would be an ideal place for this information, and I know you are already doing it. But I think, the museum as well, as they think of how can we help people, in a sense, be knowledgeable about their finance, they should, for example, have a session about all the cybersecurity. They should have a session about, use of technology, but how can you use it wisely, and so on. So there is really an important role for everybody here, including for the museum, which are ideal places for people to go and learn. Thank you very much.
Anna, thank you very much. Any further questions via email or in the coffee break personally to Anna? We'll resume at 11 o'clock with Professor Menkov. Thank you.